BS3 Network is now on Roku TV under BS3 TV. Download today.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Peace, peace, peace. This is the Information Man. Welcome to the program, Vertical Style. I decided to go with this vertical style because, like I said before, a week ago, YouTube is encouraging content creators to use this style because discoverability is very high in this way. And so I will be going back to the regular way that I broadcast, but I did a few things and I got a few surprises for you in this vertical style that will give you sort of the same touch that I do when I'm going in the regular version. So I hope you like the intro there. As always, I hope everybody is doing well. I want to talk about this issue right now, front and center. I want to thank everybody that's in the chat room. Let me go ahead and take a look who we've got here so far. We've got Beverly Palmer's. Beverly Palmer is in the house. Give her a clap. We got another, let me put you up here on, believe it or not, I can see the messages right down there. You got a little heart there. I love that. We got my man, the Gray Pill Podcast, coming in strong. Saying YouTube blowing up with the vertical right now. Yeah. So I'm going to go back to what I normally do in my normal regular setting, but the vertical is really good because you can be discovered in the short. So for all of you guys out there that are content creators, what they've done on YouTube is that they've taken vertical and they've put it in the shorts menu. So people strolling through shorts, if they'll see a little white button that says alive. If they want to watch the live, click. So it's another way to be discovered by people who haven't found your channel yet. Hopefully people that like what you're doing will probably subscribe, things of that nature. So those of you content creators, try to integrate the vertical format. Now, I did some things to try to create my vertical format almost the way I do my regular format to give it that extra pump. So I hope you all are enjoying so far the vertical look. But the content, you're definitely going to be appreciative of the content that I'm going to put out today. So I want to thank everybody. We got Jill's Chocolate Boutique in the house. We got another CG saying YouTube trying to compete with TikTok. And hell, if it's going to benefit me and benefit those of you that are content creators, and hey, I'm all for it. What's going on? We got my man, Peace, Blessings, my brother, Information Man Show, and the family in the chat room. We've got Baba Rashawn is in the house, the elder. Yeah, tell the truth, baby. Explosive. Ooh. Yes. Baba Rashawn is in the house, giving it to us like that. Peace and respect to you, brother. We got Chaos Rain who's coming in the house saying, what's good, Information Man? Hey, what's going on, Chaos Rain? Chaos Rain. Another CG, Jill's Chocolate Boutique. We got Alicia, been rocking with us for a long time. She's a great mod, as all of you in the chat room are great mods and very supportive of all the content that I've been putting out over the years and over the months and weeks and so on and so forth.
Tell the truth.
So I want to thank you, whoever comes in. We've got Jackie is in the house. What's going on? She says, Information Man and mods, thank you. Welcome over here to the channel. Welcome over here to the chat. Welcome, welcome, one all. Let me see. My man, Gray Pill says, anything to get the information. You're right, brother. Tell the truth. Now, I will, as you can see right down there, I can bring your messages up in the vertical. Working on my little system that I use. I can do a lot of wonderful things, even in the vertical. So what I want to do is I want to get right to this right away. So all of you have been following the whole beef, or what they're calling a beef, between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And you can see right there that they put the beef on there. So this whole thing has been drummed up, okay? And everybody's been going crazy about it all over social media. We've had rap beefs in the past. I'm going to say right now to all of you out there, I would hope that we had learned a lesson. Let me check some mic IQs here. Give me some sevens in the chat room if you can hear my voice, the broadcast just fine. But I'm going to say to you, I really believe that I thought that we would learn a lot better from this, from things that have happened in the past with these rap beefs and how they can end in a tragic way. Now, I don't want to see anything happen with Drake or Kendrick Lamar of any violence type. I hope that it's just art that they're putting out. But then the question you got to ask yourself, is it once again showing black people looking bad? Another situation in which you've got a black man going against another black man. And even if Drake, what you think about Drake, even if he's a light-skinned brother from Canada, his father, from what I understand, is from Memphis. He's a musician from Memphis. His mother is Jewish. We know he grew up in Canada. He's not American, even though he runs around this country talking and acting like he's from our turf. I mean, I'm just telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
Okay? But still, at the same time, I don't like to see this whole thing called beef, because we should have learned the lessons from the past. And I sometimes feel like we haven't learned the lessons from the past. And what are those past lessons? We've got the Tupac, all right? And we've got Biggie Smalls. And in the middle of all this bullshit that was going on at that time in the 90s, we've got your only, you know the man, P. Diddy. Don't Diddy me. Don't go to a P. Diddy party. You just have to say no, everybody, to a P. Diddy party. But that's not the subject matter. that we're talking about today, because what did those two men have in common? Well, there was some beef going on where Tupac said that he had sexual relations with Biggie Smalls' woman, Faith Evans.
Tell the truth.
There was this back and forth because Tupac believed that when he was in New York at the studio, that it was Bad Boy Records along with Don't Go to a P. Diddy Party. That it was P. Diddy as well as Biggie Smalls that set him up. And therefore, they went back and forth on vinyl. At that time, there was no CDs for some of you youngsters out there, okay? Well, correct. There were CDs, and there was also still vinyl as well. But they went back and forth, and it turned into what they called an East Coast, West Coast rivalry. Now, that's how the media drummed it up, but everybody in the hip-hop community knew that this was really a beef between Biggie Smalls and Tupac primarily. But it became a bi-coastal situation in which everybody jumped on both sides of the faction. If you were from the West Coast, you were rocking with Tupac. If you were from the East Coast, you were rocking with Biggie. Now, the situation with Drake is befuddling me, folks, because I'm trying to figure out what allegiance does anybody have in America? What allegiance would we have here in America to Drake, who ain't American, grew up in Canada, went to prep school. He's a prep school kid, y'all. This man didn't come from any bottom of the barrel. Now, he said that because he was living in the basement of his house. But there's even a video that was out there some years ago where he was showing you a tour of his house, had a basement in the house, had a big living room, The man was living the upper middle class life in Canada.
Tell the truth.
So, back in the day, there used to be a time that when a guy would jump out there and rap and try to talk like he's street, you would have to check his resume.
Tell the truth.
To make sure his resume lived up to it. Now, we know Kendrick Lamar comes from South Central LA area, if I'm not mistaken. And he's even said himself that him and Drake come from different parts of the world. And he couldn't really see himself doing anything with. See, this is the manipulation, everybody, because Kendrick Lamar has said several times that he wasn't interested in any type of collaboration or back and forth with Drake. And so you got to ask yourself, is this a real beef, or is this just them trying to pump up their numbers and their name in the media to manipulate us to get caught up in this beef situation when both of these guys are going to make out like bandits when it comes to money? Their record sales are going to go up. Kendrick Lamar's record sales are going to go up. Everything about Kendrick Lamar is going to go up for him. Even Drake, even though people now are saying, and the likes of people like Joe Butts are saying that he made a terrible mistake and has lost the battle when all these words and all these lyrics were coming out and people were bumping the lyrics and talking about this all over social media. But have you ever thought, ladies and gentlemen, that the joke is on us, that this is all manipulation to manipulate the public? This is social engineering, that there's some puppet masters behind the door, behind the curtains, not only puppeteering what we hear in the music, but puppeteering guys like Drake and guys like Kendrick Lamar, just to give you some food for thought. Because Kendrick said that he didn't see himself dealing with this man. Check this out. This is a video right here. I got it together, ladies and gentlemen, video style.
Would Drake be somebody you would like to have some fun with?
Nah, I couldn't. We come from two different worlds, two different backgrounds. I really don't see that playing out, as entertaining. Maybe to the people listening, not for myself.
Did you hear Kendrick Lamar say right there that he didn't see himself going back and forth playing with Drake. Maybe the people want to see that. Maybe the people want that, but that's not what he wanted. But obviously, it turned out that he put it out there. Now, this is the thing. Prior to all this so-called beef, ladies and gentlemen, Kendrick Lamar, before he became big. Now, this is an inference I'm going to make here, and I want you all to let me know in the chat room because, you know, we can be manipulated by all this nonsense that's going on. This foolishness, as I titled in the video, because it is foolishness, because we got more important things going on in our society, particularly in the black community in America, that we need to be addressing besides the either make-believe or the manufactured beef between two guys who either like each other or don't like each other. Because what I noticed and what I've researched and what you already know, hopefully, is that at one point in time, Kendrick Lamar and Drake were the best of, well, I don't want to say they're the best of buddies, but they were getting along. Drake was often saying he liked his lyrical skills, his rap skills, right? I think when Kendrick Lamar dropped his Section 80, that the Section album, he said that Drake was one of only a few people who reached out to him, telling him how great the album is and what have you. So these guys went from being friends to foes now. How did that happen? What is it? Is it jealousy? Because prior to Drake blowing up, remember in 2016, Drake ruled the rap world. Everything he touched turned to literally gold, everybody.
Tell the truth.
Okay? Literally turned to gold. But my question is this beef fake or is it really based in some real? Because at one point in time, Kendrick Lamar and Drake were kind of hanging out with each other, chilling out. Some say that it was Drake that put Kendrick Lamar on. That's what some would say. That Kendrick Lamar was introduced to his audience in Canada. There's even video out there where Drake is saying things like Kendrick Lamar, that's my nigga, as well as J. Cole, that's my nigga. Oh my God. Oh. What I find interesting about Drake is that how many of you in the chat room have actually heard this man speak, whether it be at award shows or whether it be on ESPN, or, you know, when he talks sports? Have you ever heard Drake talk when he's not rapping? When he's rapping, he's trying to sound street, gutter, loves to pepper that N-word quite a bit. But when you hear him talk in other circumstances, he sounds like a prep school kid. And I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you just what I mean. Let me play some of this for you right here. Check this out. Now, this is Drake, who literally tried to dish or clown or semi to say to Kendrick Lamar, you need to show and improve. You got that first album that you did well with. See, this is the thing. Before Kendrick Lamar blew up and got popular, Drake was all cool with him. But it seemed like from the outer appearance that the more Kendrick Lamar rose up within the rap game, begin to get accolades and win awards, that it almost seems like that's when Drake began to sort of turn against him. And remember, Kendrick Lamar got robbed in the Grammy some years ago. They gave it to the white dude. I don't even know. I can't even think of his name because he's not relevant. But the man that should have won it was Kendrick Lamar. But it seemed like the more accolades that Kendrick Lamar has been able to get, the more it appears that Drake seemed to have some I don't want to say I know it for sure, but it appears like there's some jealousy or some animosity. But we do know one thing is this. I got to give him credit. Drake has done more over the years in trying to reach out and put out the olive branch of, hey man, I know we have some issues, but come on, let's work together. So there's more incidents in which Drake has tried to reach out to Kendrick Lamar than Kendrick Lamar has actually reached out to him. And now the belief system out there is that, did Kendrick Lamar ever really respect Drake? Or is this whole thing manufactured to manipulate you as the customer who buys the CD or downloads the music? Is this a psyop just to get them, to hype up them because they see themselves as the main dish in the rap music? Now, they said there was a big three. They said it was J. Cole, and you see right here that J. Cole is part of that big three, and that big three consisting of J. Cole, who was cool with Kendrick Lamar, but then Kendrick Lamar had some kind of beef and fallout with J. Cole. Y'all already know about that. But then J. Cole has taken a step back. And when people try to say there's a three amigo situation here where it's Drake, it's Kendrick Lamar, it's J. Cole, they're the three guys repping the rap game right now. And then there was something that was put out there by Kendrick Lamar where he basically said in a rap lyric that he's number one. So there's all this ego. Rap music has always been an ego-driven genre in which egos are soft, or egos are sort of like brittle, and guys get upset very easily, which I don't find to be very masculine, to be quite honest. But let me play this for you. You're going to hear some things here. Check this out, everybody. This is fair use with the purpose of educating, news reporting, critical analysis. This is fair use. Here we go.
Album, but he questioned whether or not he could do it again.
And as far as Kendrick goes, like, I can't wait to see what he does, because now it's time to show and prove. And consistency it's been one album. Consistency is like, you need more than one album. You know what I'm saying?
Boom. So right there, he says consistency is important because you need more than one album. So these sort of what people would say are sort of these sly dish at Kendrick. I don't think Kendrick ever maybe appreciated these sort of underhanded dishing of him by Drake. Now, remember, I'm going to say this again. Prior to Kendrick Lamar blowing up with his own album, which is the album that he's talking about now, you know, they were buddy-buddy. But then the more Kendrick Lamar began to excel in the rap game, it seemed like the more their relationship became distant, because rap music is a competitive field. It is very competitive, but we got to make sure we're not being manipulated, everybody. Let me give you I'm going to give you some history about the whole rap beef and who started it or how it started or who were some of the first rappers or the two first rappers to really come on the scene back in the day and had sort of a rap beef. But back in the day, because I come from back in those days, people weren't getting taken out of here. They weren't getting deleted for expressing their rap battles. It was all in fun. But this shit today gets personal where guys, it's just like YouTube where people are doxing you and putting your personal information out there about your family, your kid, your daughter, your wife, your bank account, whatever. People are putting out, and these rappers are sort of doing the same sort of stuff, which I think is kind of weak. When you start talking about people's families, you start putting out accusations that are not really fact-based. Maybe they are factual, maybe they're not. There's been some talk about, I mean, both of these guys are going back and forth about serious issues around pedophilia or something, or being with I don't know. These are serious things to be saying in rap songs. I think it's serious stuff to be talking about in rap songs. I think it goes a little bit too far, in my opinion. But let me let you hear the rest of this as Kendrick Lamar comes into his own with his first album, as you know. And then, of course, Drake wants to tell him, well, you got to have to live not just on the moment of that first album, but you're going to have to make. Now, does it sound like, ladies and gentlemen, that he's just hating, or is he, let's go back to it.
He does, because now it's time to show and prove, and consistency it's been one album. Consistency is like you need more than one album, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's time to show and prove.
Drake claimed that he was all about putting out memorable bodies of work as opposed to creating moments.
When it comes to competition, I'm more worried about consistency. I'm more worried about bodies of work.
All right. So he said right there, he's more concerned about bodies of work, more consistency. That's what's important to him, not all this other stuff. Now, let me play a clip from Kendrick Lamar, because I think both of these guys are on a different type page. Now, it's obvious that Drake loves the land life. He loves the celebrity. He loves, he's got the big house in Canada. He loves, just all the trappings that rap music can give you in terms, and I say it's trappings because everything that they give you, they can take from you. We've seen this happen. Look what has happened to people in the past where they've got riches, they've got money. You can lose all of that. MC Hammer had everything and he went broke. But Kendrick Lamar says that he's not really, the money and the fame is not really what moves him. And a lot of people like Drake were trying to clown Kendrick because Kendrick was quiet for a while and didn't come out with another album after another album after another album, whereas Drake has this attitude like, look, I'm coming out with albums and after albums and I'm going to do this, right? But see, you got to understand they're in different parts. They're in different parts of their life. I want to say this right now. I want to play this again.
Would Drake be somebody you would like to have some fun with?
Nah, I couldn't. We come from two different worlds.
Boom. Stop it right there. He says we come from two different worlds. Kendrick, from all accounts, comes from a world in which he came from struggle. He came from, definitely from the bottom to try to get up in his background coming out of LA and the South Central area. Whereas when you look at someone like Drake, he comes from a more privileged background. I want to read something to you all that I have right here. Aubrey Drake, that's his real name, y'all. Aubrey Drake Graham, that's his daddy's last name. He's got it. Was born in Toronto, Canada. The son of Dennis Graham, an African-American musician born in Memphis, Tennessee, and a Jewish mother of Canadian ancestry, and she was an educator. You see, Drake, he grew up with a pool in the backyard. He grew up in a nice environment. He went to prep school. He went to some public schools in Canada, but he went to a prep school. He also was on a TV show called Degrassi, where that's how he got popular in Canada. So this was like this. Drake was already a known entity coming out of Canada or in Canada, but he had to come to America to make his fame. He had to come to America, and some would say that he's been culture voting on black music, particularly rap music. That's what some would say, that he had to come here and culture vote rap music to make his fame. Many people come to America to make their fame. But I want to say this. How many of you in the chat room, by putting sevens in the chat room, remember a time in rap music where rappers from back, see, I'm old enough to remember this. If you're a millennial, if you're a Z generation, you don't remember this. There was a time where they had summits and rappers were talking about, we have to protect the music. We can't allow foreigners and people from the outside to take over our music like they did jazz. Remember, jazz music was created by black folks in America. It was our musical expression. Ragtime, all of it. Blues, rock and roll was all created by us. And then other people came in and they jackknifed it. They hijacked it away. I can make an argument today that rap music has definitely been hijacked. And so there are some that would believe that someone like, and I just gotta, I'm just gonna tell the truth here.
Tell the truth.
Okay, I'm just, it is what it is. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification, everybody. If you have not, I really appreciate that. Subscribe. Thank you. Be a part of what we got going on over here. Thank you for watching today. Like, comment when you get a chance. You may disagree with my points. You may agree with my points. Hey, we're all here together going through this, but there's some that would say, oh my God, how can we allow our music that we created to be commandeered by other people who are simply looking at our culture and trying to emulate it? Like I said, when you listen to Drake speak, when he's not rapping and he's not around certain type of people, he ain't using that N-word. And he talks with perfect English diction. Sounds very calm. Sounds very suburban. Not urban. Okay?
Tell the truth.
So it makes me think that he's basically he's basically come to this country. He's put out music to sort of gain the attention of certain groups of people. And then, of course, he has the singing. I wish he would stop singing personally.
Tell the truth.
I don't think he's a good singer, but he also does a little singing, and that's why people make the joke about him being a pop singer. But I want y'all to hear what Kendrick Lamar had to say. Check this out right here.
I'm learning that now. That's not really my my peace of mind, having money.
I love Electra Chung's shoulders.
You love the shoulders?
I just love her shoulders.
Boom! What did I just say? Is right there.
Tell the truth.
He's talking like a prep school. He's talking about, I just love her. Listen to how he talks in his music, and listen how he talks when he get around black people in this rap genre. Look at how his voice changes. He tries to sound a little bit more masculine, a little bit more grungy. And you can hear him on this segment talking about how he loved this white woman's shoulders. And he's talking like a prep schoolboy. And you just heard Kendrick Lamar say that he ain't in it just for the money. That ain't really what moves him. But we know that Drake is definitely loving the access that he has to the music. But I want you to listen to his voice and think about that voice that he uses, which I believe is his real voice and his real personality, versus how he's talking all this old hip-hop Negro talk, this Sambo, gumbo, jumbo, mumbo, jumbo.
Tell the truth.
Just think about when you've heard him talk that mumbo jumbo. But he ain't talking like that when he's around all these Hollywood folks. You see what I'm saying? There's two sides. So that's what I'm saying, that we can't get caught up in what we're seeing on social media, what we're hearing about when it comes to this rap beef and what they're putting out, because some of these guys are pretenders. I'm not saying that Kendrick Lamar is a pretender, but I'm certainly saying that I'm pointing a finger at Drake as someone who I believe at times can be seen as suspect, that he's trying too hard to appeal to black people. Now, you can make the argument that when you're a light-skinned black person, this is just the truth. Let's just be honest. When you're a light-skinned black person, you have to work 10 times harder. You got to work that much harder to gain respect from darker-skinned black people, because you're seen as not really completely black, because you're a mixed race person. So you're not never really seen as completely black. We can call it colorism, whatever you want to call it. Maybe Drake is going extra because he feels that because he's light-skinned, because he has a white Jewish mother, because he's not really born here in America, that he needs to take on what he thinks is black dialect, urban dialect, to be accepted in this rap game. So I want you to just hear this sort of prep school kid voice here. Check this out again.
Yeah, I'm learning that now. You know, that's not really my peace of mind, having money.
I love Electra Chung's shoulders.
Look at him. I love Electra Jones' shoulders.
Love the shoulders?
I just love her shoulders.
I just love her shoulders.
She's actually
That ain't Irvin. That ain't Irvin. That ain't Irvin at all, brother. I just love her shoulders. Now, I'm not saying that using proper English or talking like he's talking doesn't make you a black person. I'm simply making the observation that when you hear him talking his rap stuff and getting around his rap peers or whatever, he really puts it on. He puts it on pretty heavy with all the N words, and you see it laden throughout his music, a in this, a in that, but he not using that in stuff when he's at the Grammy award show and he's talking about how he's loving this woman's shoulders, and he's talking like he's a high graduate of prep school and has a A+ in English speaking. I'm just saying.
love the shoulders?
I just love her shoulders.
She's actually blushing as well.
I just love her shoulders.
Electra Chung's shoulders.
You love the shoulders?
I just love her shoulders.
She's actually blushing as well.
Now, I think a black person can speak proper English. They can speak how they want to speak. But I'm making a distinction because it's one thing if that's how you really speak, but then you put on an act. And I think a lot of these entertainers, to be quite honest, a lot of them in general put on acts for our benefit so that we can buy their music. So just like you've got guys who come out in the rap game and act like they're gangster, that they're gang member, that they've been in jail, and then you find out when you look at their resumes that they ain't really living that life. They ain't really living no gangster life, because last time I checked, real gangsters don't rap. They're doing real stuff out there in the streets, right? But you get this persona that guys want to put on, which is the phony part of them. That's the act for our benefit, so we buy their music, so that we say, hey, they authentic. And then there's the real them, where they really talk how they really talk. Because I've heard Drake talk like this on other programs that were not rap related. Even when he did that video in Canada showing you his house and how he was living, he didn't sound anything like that, like you hear him in a lot of his songs, especially when he's in these songs trying to go back and forth with Kendrick Lamar or any of these other rappers that he has these little rap battles with. So I'm just saying, a lot of these guys, this is why it's foolishness, y'all. Because a lot of these guys, they're putting on an act anyway for you. And in this so-called beef between him and Kendrick Lamar, it may be personal. It may be based on them dishing each other. But, you know, let's be honest. Real men don't behave like this. Real men, if you got a problem with someone, you confront them in their face. You know, and it's funny how in rap music, if you got a problem with somebody, you run and make a song about it. Whereas in the real world, us as men who ain't no damn celebrity, this is why you know this celebrity stuff is all bullshit, y'all.
Tell the truth.
Real men in the real world, we don't run and make songs. Think how weak that is. Somebody's talking smack about you, you run and make a song? No. In the real world, you would confront that individual head to head, not hiding behind a pen, not hiding behind some damn beats, not hiding behind some damn studio and production, because that ain't really the real battle. Even though we want to call it a rap battle, this ain't no damn battling. This is just individuals putting pen to paper, rhyming, selling music, selling their image, and trying to have this false sense that they're king of the world of rap music, when half of the rap music that we're listening to today is garbage.
Tell the truth.
Kendrick Lamar told you his real feelings in that video that I just played a few minutes ago. He said he ain't really in it for the money. So that tells you, and he told you in a previous video that I just showed you that he didn't see himself wanting to go in no back and forth with Drake, but yet they're in a back and forth. And maybe, just maybe, Kendrick Lamar never liked Drake in the first place, never respected him. And you may have others in the rap game who really don't respect him that much either. There's some things you're going to hear today. But let's go. Before I go forward with this podcast, I want to thank you all out there that are watching. If you're with me, you're listening, put sevens in the chat room. I appreciate you being here on this vertical style podcast today. Vertical is the new thing on YouTube, along with everything else, the shorts and what have you. So every now and then, we're going to do some vertical like this every now and then. But let me put something up here. This rap beef, this whole thing between Kendrick Lamar and Drake ain't nothing new, folks. And it's just foolishness because we're sitting up here as grown people waiting for songs to come out to hear two grown-ass men talking about one another like two schoolyard kids in elementary school.
Tell the truth.
When both of these guys were loving over each other at one point in time. Let's just keep it real. They were kicking it with each other at one point in time. Now all of a sudden, things ain't working. It's the same way Tupac was kicking it with Biggie Smalls at one point in time, and they were best of buddies at one point in time, and then other personal things came into play, and they start doing the same thing. When will we as black men, when will we as a people, and in the music industry, in the culture, if that's even our culture, I tend to think that a lot of this is not our culture. It's Sambo and Gumbo culture. When will we learn to stop hating on one another the way we do, whether it be physically, verbally, through the music? And I tend to think that a lot of times we do this to each other because psychologically we don't like ourselves. And if you don't like yourself, then you don't like those that look like you, and you project your hate onto those that look like you by giving them no respect. And I have to ask this question: do black people like each other in general? And in particular, do black men respect other black men? I don't care if they're light-skinned, brown-skinned, dark-skinned, what any kind of skin. Do we respect each other? And a lot of times I feel like we really don't. And that's a manifestation of the internal hate, the external hate that we have for each other in a society where we deal with racism, prejudice, all sorts of biases that we've had to deal with. And what happens is we tend to turn on each other, people who look like ourselves. We do it in entertainment. Now, isn't it funny how in every other musical genre, you don't see the rock and roll stars going back and forth with each other? I mean, if they are, we don't hear. I haven't heard about it. You don't see this in any R&B, all the other musical genres. We don't see this back and forth beef like we do in rap music. And this is what it's led to, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you some numbers right here. Check this out, the average lifespan of rappers. People are not going to tell you this kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you the truth.
Tell the truth.
The average lifespan of a rapper is between 25 and 30 years of age. We've seen rappers die before their time because they were involved in some type of beef, either personal beef, a beef that came from the records onto the streets, or maybe a beef that wasn't even in the records, but just a personal thing. Because with that said, since 2020, the year 2020, 77 rappers' deaths. There's been 77 rappers that are no longer with us because they were shot down for whatever the reasons are. And then you've got 40 rappers' deaths have remained unsolved. Maybe we can say 39 since they're claiming, I'm going to say this, since they're claiming that Tupac's the person that killed Tupac, that they have him arrested and he's in prison now. So that would be 39 remaining deaths of rappers that have gone unsolved. This beef thing has caused people to lose their lives. While we sit up here and we get all jitty and giddy about this beef between these two guys lyrically, you know, sometimes things can go from lyrics to now physical. We saw that with Tupac and Biggie Smalls, y'all.
Tell the truth.
In between with P. Diddy's ass, I just want to remind y'all, we should have learned the lessons from that time. And we should learn the lessons from the past rappers who are our pioneers, who showed us that they can have a rap battle, if we want to call it that, without it getting into this other shit. Such as, let's go back and let's look at some history right here. Let's come to class and get some history here. One of the earliest battles occurred in December 1981 when Kool Moe Dee, here he is. Kool Moe Dee, all right, there he is. Challenge Busy Bee, there he is. All right there, that's Busy Bee right there. So if y'all remember these two rappers from back in 81, Busy Bee Starks, defeat meant that no, he defeated him. Kool Moe Dee defeated this man. Okay, Kool Moe Dee definitely defeated him. And as a result, Busy Bee, he defeated him. It meant that no longer an MC, just a crowd pleaser. Now, what do you know, for you millennials, for you Gen Zs, back in the day when rap music got its start, the MC simply was there to rile the crowd up, get the crowd pleased, get them fired up, because people really enjoyed listening to what we call the DJ or the producers scratching those albums, the Grandmaster Flashes of the type and what have you. So it comes out of that. And so when they had this rap battle between him and Busy Bee, Kool Moe Dee, for those of you who remember this, it was one of the first times where you actually had the role of the MC start to take another form. Once again, this meant that no longer an MC just works as a crowd-pleasing comedian with a slick tongue. He was a commentator, and a storyteller, thus changing the format of raps in some form or another. So this was the battle between Kool Moe Dee in 81. A lot of you millennials and Z generation, you weren't even thought of. I lived through this era. And you had Busy Bee. So we have to understand that there were people that came before a Drake, a Kendrick Lamar. There were people that came before you, people that you stand on the shoulders of. And these beefs back in the day, these beefs today that people are having, to me, are embarrassment to our past, because this situation with Kool Moe Dee and Busy Bee wasn't where guys were talking about people's family members. It's just like I said on YouTube, where people are doxing. And I think someone just sent me a super chat. I want to say thank you for that. John AK gave me a $2 super chat saying, great. Let me put you up here. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll read. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that again. Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat.
We've got Jonathan Kidd in the house saying, I remember those battles We got Peggy Ross saying, but the beef was not like these rappers in black music like jazz and blues. Yeah, it's not like it is today, but there was back and forth there was back and forth banter, but I don't think it was on the level it is today, because I think what's happening today is that people are making these beef records or these back and forth, and they're saying personal things about family members. They're claiming that people are sex this and sex that. They weren't doing that sort of stuff when Kumo D had his battle. It wasn't about, let me make up a lie about you. Something that can get you in a lot of trouble or make people look at you like, man, this dude is he one of those, a petty. You see what I'm saying? That type of stuff, I think it goes too far. We've got Miss Hop Talk says, good evening. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers in the chat, all mothers worldwide. Last Call says they would have labeled Scott Little Rock rap beef today. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you've always had rap battles. But I don't think people did it in a way to be personal, meaning let me just say this, to just put it right out there. The rappers that got involved in rap battles back in the day, they still alive. They're not no longer here because someone shot them, took their life, over arguing about some personal matters or over arguing about lyrics in a song or who's the best rapper. Everybody thought they were the best. Everybody would look, if you go back and listen to rap music in the 70s, late 70s, early 70s, early 80s, late 80s, most of the rap music, all rappers said that they were the best rappers. And so it seems like the minute that Kendrick Lamar proclaimed himself the best rapper as he started to rise up in his game, it seems like people are saying maybe Drake doesn't have thick enough skin. That's what some would think, or some would believe, or some have said, should I say. Because let me let you hear from ASAP Rocky. Let me let you hear this, folks. And thank you, everybody in the chat room. I thank you for being here. All of you, great folks. Great folks. Check this out.
Hip-hop need this shit, man, I knew what it was for hip-hop culture. I knew how important it was.
He said my name, like he said a couple people's name, and he said he's the best rapper.
Let me set this straight. Basically, these are rappers who said they didn't have a problem with Kendrick Lamar. This leads to what I had just said about Drake needs to have thicker skin. Kendrick Lamar came out with an album in which he basically claimed himself as the best rapper. A lot of guys didn't take it personal. I think ASAP Rocky has even admitted that he was happy to see the brother become #1 at one point in time on those rap charts, right? So these rappers are basically saying, hey, I ain't got no problem with him saying that he's #1 because I think I'm #1, or if I've said I'm #1. That's always been part of rap music. Every MC thinks that he's #1. Every DJ thinks he's #1. I used to break dance and strut back in the day. Every break dancer and strutter said, I'm the best break dancer. When I was growing up, everybody in the neighborhood was like, I'm the best. Can't nobody spin on their head like me. Can't nobody gyro like me. Can't nobody pop lock like me. Everybody said that. You got to get thicker skin. See, this is the difference. Drake didn't grow up. Maybe I'm wrong here. Drake didn't grow up in America. You see, we're very competitive in this country. And so growing up in the black neighborhoods and communities, you always had to be competitive. I grew up playing basketball. That's hella competitive. That was hella competitive. I mean, we compete for everything, whether it be women, sports, making the team, making the football team, the basketball team, being the best rapper, being the best dancer, whatever it is in this country, especially when you grow up in the black community, you're always competing to be the best in one way or another. Hell, when you go to school, your parents would tell you you got to be 10 times better than your white counterpart.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
So this is the cultural difference here that, yeah, Drake has a black father. He's black. He's biracial. But he didn't grow up in America, like many of the people, these rappers that you're going to hear on here saying, hey, it ain't no sweat off my back that the man thinks that he's number one. You said my name. I ain't tripping. But then Drake is sort of being sensitive because why? He has no cultural connection other than his father that was born here in Memphis, but his father had him in Canada. He lived in Canada. So he didn't grow up in the hustle and bustle of the urban environment in America. Check this out. Let's hear them. This is what I mean. These guys, they didn't have an issue, but Drake, you're going to see why he had an issue. Check this out again.
I think hip hop need this shit, man.
I knew what it was for hip hop culture. I knew how important it was.
He said my name, like he said my name, said a couple people's name, and he said he's the best rapper. I say I'm the best rapper every song I'm on.
Yeah, but he wasn't coming at him in a disrespectful way. He come at him.
That's Meek Mills, who's saying, hey, he didn't feel like he was coming at him in a disrespectful way. So what is Drake's problem? And of course, there is rumor that I shouldn't go here, folks, but you've all heard the audio. There's audio out there where people think that P. Diddy has been popping his cheeks. Say no to a P. Diddy party. Come on now. Let's get back to it.
I'm in a competitive way.
So for me, it's one of those things where I appreciate. I didn't take it necessarily as a diss. Hip hop is competitive, but I am a competitor.
So what you heard there, what he said at the end was excellent. He said, hip hop is competitive and I like to compete, but they're not taking it all. They're not getting all bent out of shape like Drake is, because growing up in America, you learn to have to compete for everything, man. Nothing's given to you, see? Because these brothers that are probably saying they had to compete and they don't have a problem with competing is because they didn't grow up in a big middle-class family with a big old downstairs basement room, washing and dryer, what do you call it? A refrigerator filled with lots of food, nice dining area, nice furnishing, a closet with lots of nice shoes. This is what Drake showed us on his video. Okay. See, when you're given certain privilege, when you get certain privilege early and you're used to getting that privilege, sometimes you can't handle the criticism, possibly. I don't know. But check this out. Listen to Drake right here after those brothers said what they had to say. And check him out right here. This is based on an album, lyrics that Kendrick Lamar put out in which he proclaimed himself the best. And remember, I'm going to say this again. It goes back to my main premise. Maybe Drake is jealous of Kendrick Lamar because once Kendrick Lamar blew up, everybody started anointing him the savior of rap music. And I don't know. That whole thing about savior of rap music, I think, is goofy.
Tell the truth.
Savior? Rap music today doesn't just need a savior. It's on fucking life support, y'all.
Tell the truth.
It's such garbage out there that we're hearing. But listen to Drake all in his feelings here. And as he's talking again, he's not using that N-word. He's not talking with all that old dialect that he likes to use. He's talking all nice and check it out.
I don't know. It just wasn't real to me. It's like, I saw him after that, and it was just like love. So it's like, was that real or was that just like for the people? You know what I mean?
I think it's a sparring kind of sport.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, then let it be real then, I mean, because those were harsh words, right? So it's like, you can't just say that and then see me and be like, yeah, man, what's up? Pretending like nothing ever happened. Like, that's not.
Now, I'll give Drake this. He's right. You can't talk about somebody like a dog and then turn around and act like nothing happened. He's right about that. I would agree. I think Kendrick Lamar, you can't do that, brother. You can't talk about him because Drake is very soft. I mean, he's very sensitive, should I say. And you just can't do that, right? You just can't do that. And Drake didn't like that. And at one point in time, you guys were, I guess, cool, I guess. But it goes back to what I said before. Maybe he never, ever really liked Drake anyway. And when you really don't like somebody, eventually it's going to come out in the wash. But again, I'm going to say it again. Drake has actually, on several occasions over the years, have made attempts to sort of try to reconnect with Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has made no efforts in that area. Just wanted to let you guys hear that. Okay. Another problem that I have to bring up about Drake. And this is a cultural thing. You know, he tried to make something out of it. I did a video about this on this channel because I didn't appreciate it at all. But some years back, remember Drake did a blackface and people really jumped all over him. Remember this? Y'all probably, some of y'all in the chat room are going to be surprised about what you're about to see right here. There it is. There it is right there. That's him in the blackface getup. Now, what Drake tried to do damage control on this situation, y'all, is that Drake said that, no, you guys got it all wrong. What happened was Drake explains the blackface photo. Pusha T, rapper Pusha T. Remember Pusha T, y'all? Remember him? Pusha T is the one that really jumped on him about this this picture that he put on here. But this is what he had to say. Drake says he explains that blackface photo that Pusha T drugged up for his diss track, because Pusha T put out a diss track about him as well. And let me, I'm going to fix something right here. Give me a minute. This is the rapper, the first response to the story. An update. Pusha T has responded to Drake, explaining that Drake's explanation, saying you are silent on all black issues. So when Drake came out, he said that the reason why he did this, that the reason why he wore the black face was because he was trying to do a protest, that him and his other co-workers at Degrassi, when he was doing television, that they were the only black men on the show, and that he wanted to he put himself in blackface to show this is how we feel. This is how we feel that we're being treated, that we're being treated like we're Sambos and Gumbos or like that. So Drake is trying to claim that he did it to send a message, to create a political message as it relates to the things that he was going through as a black person on a TV set in a show that, by the way, was successful in Canada. That was his explanation, but my man Pusher, my man right here, said that nah.
Tell the truth.
Nah, Drake, you on some bullshit, man, because Drake, you never respond or you have an explanation for the blackface, but you never really talk about black issues. You're always silent about serious black issues. That's what Pusha T said, y'all. That was his way that he framed it. So I just wanted to put that out there because I never appreciated what he did. And even if you're trying to make, I'm sorry, as a black man, see, this is the difference between growing up in America, being from Canada. As a black man in America, there's a lot of things that we can protest, a lot of things that we go through on the job where we're mistreated. But I never in my life thought of, let me put on blackface as a way to send a message. No. You don't need to put on blackface to send a message, Drake. That was poorly executed, and it got you in a little pickle a few years back, and Pusha T called you out on it. And of course, you had an explanation for that. But yet, he's right. You hardly ever hear a lot of these rappers or any of these entertainers really speak out on real serious issues. You don't hear them that much. Now, to Drake's credit, he did make mention about Trayvon Martin in an article with Vibe magazine. Let me pull this up here. This is a clip from an excerpt from that Vibe magazine. And in that Vibe magazine, Drake did attempt to make some statements about the racial issues and what have you, but he's never really he's never really delved into it that heavily. But this was a clip from the Vibe magazine article some years back. It says, elsewhere, here's a Q&A. Drake also speaks about double standards in rap. Says that really responding to Control. Now, Control was an album. Let's keep it real now. That was a Kendrick Lamar production. And that album really messed Drake up at a time when he was getting ready to come out with his music, that his music was about to drop. And he felt that that album, he has said it himself, that album really threw a monkey wrench in some things that when Kendrick dropped that. Once again, rap is a competitive field. But once again, I believe I feel like there's some jealousy. There's something going on here. I feel like there's something. It's just my opinion. Just my thoughts about it. Right there. Drake says there's a double standard in rap. Says that really responding to Control would be like Michael Jordan playing pickup to prove he's great, and adds that Kanye West is his only competition. This is what Drake said some time back, just to let y'all know. Let's get back to it. He says that Kanye was his only competition. He says he's like the best. Drake said, what an era to be part of. I would not want my competition to be anybody else but Easy or Yeezy. We know him as Kanye West. My competition is nobody else, by the way. It's just me and Easy, Yee. I still have Yee. I still have work to do, but that's what it is right now. Okay. So that's what Drake, what he put out there at that time. That's how he was feeling. He has a right to express himself and what have you. Let's go back into some more here, folks. Check this video out right here.
I love Kendrick Lamar.
Number one on that list, Kendrick Lamar. What's up?
The hip hop savior, it seems like.
Once again, you have rappers like you see Scarface on there saying Kendrick Lamar. You have a lot of rappers. No matter what we think as an audience listening to rap music, watching rap music, no matter what we think, everybody, there's still those in the rap game who are actually rappers who think that Kendrick Lamar is the man. And I would think that they have more expertise than any of us would have in their opinion. But these were just a few people who said that they're into Kendrick Lamar. They think he's the man, that he's the savior, whatever you want to call it. Of course, there are those who like Drake and feel that, Drake is the man. That Drake is the man who has a bigger volume of albums. He has a bigger catalog, which is true. We got to give Drake his props. He definitely grinds and puts out the music. He doesn't make you wait 5 and 6 and 3 and 4 years. The man puts out product almost every year or so. Okay, we got to give him his props for that. We got to give him a clap for that. We got to give him his props for that. But there's still those who may not accept Drake. Now, this is the question I'm going to put out there for everybody listening. If you're in the chat listening, this is the controversial question. Does Drake get criticism, or does Drake not get, even though he's put out large amounts of catalog of music, he's won awards, he's broken some records. I think he's dominated in streaming, his music being streamed and being streamed more than any other artist. But does Drake suffer from two things? The fact that he's not really a American, or didn't grow up in our culture. Does he suffer from the fact that there are those, you've heard these rappers in there, you've heard people calling him a white boy? Does he suffer from the fact that he is a biracial mixed guy? Does he suffer from those who see him as a culture vulture? You tell me in the chat what you think. I'll pull up your thoughts in a moment, but these are just thoughts I want to put out there. Why you may have some of the rappers here in America, born and raised here, who may say, you know, he ain't really part of the culture. Or are they jealous of the fact that Drake has done some things in rap music that those that are from the culture haven't been able to do? Now, we can look at this so many different ways. But once again, Kendrick Lamar is getting accolades too. So you have to ask yourself, is there jealousy coming from Drake, on top of the fact that Drake has to go the extra mile to prove himself, which is maybe, let me just say this, maybe in a psychological way, because Drake was sort of trying to come down on Kendrick Lamar in one of his concerts, and I'm going to play that video for you, where he was saying like, hey, I'm not like some rappers who wait 5 years before they give you some more music. Is Drake putting out music so rapidly and doing the things that he's doing, like I told you, the way he talks when he's doing the rap thing, because he has to prove himself more, because he is a light-skinned biracial guy who some may not accept him as a full black man? Is that why he has to go the full mile with putting out more music to show that, hey, I am the culture, right? Is that why? Is that why he goes out of his way in his music constantly to use the N-word and pepper it, nigga, 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 and this and that? I'm asking these questions of everybody in the chat room. You let me know what you think. But check this out. This was MTV. I think this was my man from you're going to recognize the voice. This is my man, God. And he grew up in the same area. We're from the Bay Area. We're from the Bay. He's from the Bay just like me. You'll recognize his voice. It'll come to me. Here we go.
10 became 5, the 5 became 2. And you, Kendrick Lamar, are the hottest MC in the game, according to the MTV brain. The 10 became 5, the 5 became 2. And you, Kendrick Lamar, are the hottest MC in the game, according to...
So right there, he's been awarded back at that time of being the hottest rapper in the game. Now, I'm going to say this. Everybody's got their favorite rappers. So everybody in the chat room, everybody out there, you can rock with whoever you want to rock with. But this is just some of the stuff. So what's happening is that there's things that are happening in these men's careers where there seems to be some sort of personal animosity, jealous, whatever it may be. And then it spills out into this thing called this rap beef that they've had over the last few weeks, in which they got music coming out, everybody's getting excited. And you got to ask yourself, both Kendrick Lamar and Drake both stand to win because they're both going to make money. They're both have albums out. They both are getting hyped up. And sometimes these things can be socially engineered to move us away from things that we really should be focusing on, like what happened to this young man in Florida, a Navy veteran, Mr. Rogers. Fortson, who was shot in a stand your ground state, that's Florida. Oh, a police comes banging on his door super loud. And I did some digging around about this issue, and they said in the state of Florida that you can open your door. Even if a cop is at the door, you can have your gun as long as you don't point the gun at the cop and you have the gun pointing down. This young man right here had his weapon pointed down, not at the officer, and the officer popped him multiple times when he did not present a threat. He had the gun in a position that he was legally able to have it in. He has a registered gun. He's military, never had a criminal background a day of his life. This young man that you see on the screen, this is what's going on in real life in America with black men. While these two guys are running around bumping their gums on wax or on CDs or streaming platforms, going back and forth about who's the best rapper, when all of it is irrelevant. Where black people are right now, who cares who's the best rapper? I care about who's the best student. I care about who's the best businessman and businesswoman. I care about how many black people are able to buy homes, how many black people are able to raise their sons and their daughters. I care about black people not harming one another, physically, verbally, or anything. That's what I care about. That's more important. That's what's more important, what's really going on out in the real world that's impacting black people, while we get all excited and entertained by this circus that's going on between two men who's doing very well financially. Hell, we know Drake is doing very well in Canada. He's taking that American money and living good in Canada with his mansion. He shows you every damn thing. His mansion. I'm not hating on him. I'm just telling it like it is. He's got his mansion. He's got his pool. He's living very, very well off the money that he's earned off of rap culture that was started in this country. He goes back to Canada with the money. He comes over here and stunts and acts like a simp and gets some and meets some female and rents out the Dodger Stadium to have a date in a damn baseball stadium. What is that all about? Because he's trying so hard to act like he's a part of the culture. Now, I'm not going to lie. Drake has some music. He has come out with a catalog of music. He's got some good tunes. I like some of Drake's tunes. I like some of course, I like Kendrick Lamar's tunes. No, I'm not saying these guys don't have catalogs of music that is pretty good. Why can't rappers just stick to making their music, making their money, entertaining? Because I don't see R&B singers. I don't see jazz singers. I don't see rock and roll, punk rockers. I don't see any of these other genres of music entertainers running around having beefs with each other like you see on the level we see in rap music. It's sort of ridiculous to me, y'all. Let's go back over here to another video. Now, how many of y'all remember this? DMX got involved in this situation. DMX, another experienced rapper, and he's no longer with us. God rest his soul. He had drug problems. He had a lot of struggles in life. But even DMX was down with a Kendrick Lamar. That's what I'm saying. I think that there's a lot of black American rappers. Maybe they have some resentment towards this Canadian, this foreigner that's come in. That's what, and has kind of lit up the rap world. Maybe they just, I don't know what it is, but you're going to hear what he had to say. Check this out. Kendrick Lamar was on a radio program. He was laughing about this, which further goes into the beef because he was laughing about it on a radio show about how DMX said what he wanted to do to Drake. A lot of people didn't know about this, or maybe you did. If you did know about this, put sevens in the chat room. But listen to Kendrick Lamar right here. And I'm going to go into what DMX said.
Like hitting walls and shit, just crying. I'm like, no, what you niggas talking about? They mute, they stop laughing, right? I just hear X going off on a laptop, just spazzing. I'm like, what's going on? And it's like, yeah, he's going in right now.
All right. Check this out. Listen to the audio. This is DMX. Check it out.
He would love to beat Drake up.
Man, I wish it was like maybe 7 years ago, or maybe like 10 years ago, where, you know, catch the elevator, beat him up.
Let's hear that again. He said, DMX said he wished it was 7 years ago, 10 years ago. He wished he could catch Drake on the elevator and beat him up. Now, we know DMX had his demons. He had his problems, but let's hear this one more time.
He would love to beat Drake up.
Man, I wish it was like maybe 7 years ago, or maybe like 10 years ago, where, you know, catch the elevator, beat him up.
All right. I want to play some more audio for you. This is the audio portion of the program today. I think you're going to appreciate some of the audio that we got as we get close to the conclusion of today's program. I really appreciate everybody in the chat room. What I'm going to do before I play some audio, I'm going to read some statements from you in the chat room, and then I'm going to go to this audio. These audio clips are not long, folks, so just to let you know, stick around. But let's open up and see what people are talking about. So let me go right here and make sure, I want to say thank you again for watching the program today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and comment, okay? And if you like it, definitely like the video. Definitely like the video, okay? Okay. All right, y'all. Check this out. Let's go into the chat room and let's read. What's going on? Real Aaron Collins comes in and says, Drake started his career as an actor in Canada on a show called Degrassi. Yeah, I talked about that too earlier. Yeah. Drake didn't grow up on the hard side of the mountain. He didn't come from that background, but it is what it is. I'm just going over this. And I'm going to be honest again. I'm going to say that again. What's going on, Queen Thrones?
Tell the truth.
What's going on, my sister? Queen Thrones is in the house. Make sure y'all check her out. Hey, I'm going to say this again. These are the reasons. People either like Drake or they don't like Drake. Either they don't like him because they feel like, hey, this foreign guy, this foreign biracial Negro from Canada has come into America and he's dominated the music scene and we don't like it. Or there's black people who think because he's light-skinned brother that he ain't black enough. Or there's people that think that he's a culture vulture. Or on the flip side of that, the people who think that way may very well just be jealous because he's doing better than they have. He's been more successful than they have. He's living large in that Canadian mansion, kicking back by the pool. That he's getting the ladies, he's making hits, he's dominating, what have you. I think it's a little bit of everything, y'all. Let's just keep it real. It's a little bit of everything. But it doesn't mean that Drake can't be jealous himself of someone like a Kendrick Lamar, as I said before. Doesn't mean that he can't be jealous of Kendrick Lamar, because there's certainly something going on. Let me go back into the chat and see your thoughts. I appreciate everybody that's here. Let me see. Hi from Russia. Name and car for edit. What's going on from Russia? Welcome to the channel. And let me go. Jonathan Kidd says this. He does not write his. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Wasn't it Meek's Mill? I don't know. I've heard. Yeah, I don't know how many of y'all heard that audio where it sounded like P. Diddy might have been smacking on something. But let's get serious. That's not. Let me stop it. Let's be serious. It was Meek Mills who first exposed Drake as using a, what we call it, a ghostwriter. That's right. That's right, Jonathan Kidd. He was using a ghostwriter to write his lyrics. That's what was put out there. Now, are people just saying that because, I'm just asking, because they're haters, they're hating on Drake, or is it really true? And I'm going to be honest, I respect a rapper who actually writes their own lyrics. But let's keep this in mind. It's the music business. There's a lot of people who don't write their own music. Sometimes they have someone write a song for them. There's a lot of R&B singers that we like listening to that don't write their own music, and someone wrote the song for them. So we can look at it in so many different ways, but he was exposed in that issue. And I don't think he ever gave a real explanation about it, but good point, Jonathan Kidd. Let's go back over to Tiffany Jackson's coming in the house. Good to see you, sister. And let me see. Tiffany Jackson says, last call, excellent point. Let me see what last call wrote. Last call, what's going on, last call? Okay, let's look at it. Last call says, we get into the terminal of being, let me see, I can't, my writing's small on here, of being black only means growing up poor and uneducated. Lines are getting blurred. Yeah. No. Last call, I agree with you. Just because you don't grow up poor and you grow up in having nice things, it doesn't mean that you're not black. But I bring that issue up because that's sort of how some people might look at Drake, which is why you may see there may be some jealousy of him by other rappers who didn't probably grow up the way he did. Let's be honest. I mean, we can look at some black communities where you have black people who are not thugs, who are going to school, who are doing the right things, and then they get criticized by people in the community who are like, why are you going to that school? Why are you playing the violin? Why are you playing the guitar? Why you talk like that? Why you talk like you white? I gotta be honest. Now, when I talked about Drake and the way Drake talks, I made a distinction that when he's talking that rap stuff, he loves using that N-word and he likes to get a little gutter in his voice. But when he's around other people on certain type of shows, he talks like a prep school kid. Now, because I think, and I said earlier in this video, I think that when he talks, that's the real Drake. The Drake that we see getting on these stages talking about nigga this and nigga that and in this and in that, that ain't the real, that's not his real personality. That's the personality that he puts on to be, I think, to be accepted in the rap world. Because we see this with black people when other black people look at you and say, you ain't black enough, or they don't think you, or you're not accepted. And to be accepted, now you got to start behaving in a way to prove yourself. People go through this sort of stuff. That's just my analysis. But good point, last call. Very good point. Let's see right here. Tiffany Jackson says, it is really a discussion about biracial identity, or it is a examination of the cosplay, urban black American culture when cosplaying, right? Now, Tiffany, I'm glad you said that, because that's why, and I put on this thumbnail, on the title, the Drake and Kendrick Lamar Foolishness. It's all foolishness. All these guys are cosplaying to a certain level. And I said this earlier in the video before you got here. All these people are cosplaying because they must produce an image. The music business and the entertainment business is all about image. I said it before, you got guys running around lying about, talking about they gangster, they this and that, and you find out they not really gangster. They didn't really go to jail, but they create these personas because they got to sell the music, they got to sell an image that don't even really represent who they really are. Autocorrect, right. Last call, you making good points, man. Let me see who we got here. Drake caters to whatever demographic he's around at the moment. That comes off as, right, that's what I'm saying. It comes off as, let me play this again. I'm making a point here, and I'm glad that you made that point for me. Listen to this right here.
Just like for the people, you know what I
No,
mean?
I think it's a sparring kind of sport.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, you know, then let it be real then, you know, I mean, because those were harsh words, right? So it's like, you can't just say that and then see me and be like, yeah, man, what's up? Pretending like nothing ever happened. Like, that's not, like, I don't know. It just wasn't real to me. It's like, I saw him after that and it was just like, love. So it's like, was that real or was that just like for the people? You know what I mean?
I think it's a sparring kind of sport.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, you know, then let it be real then, you know, I mean, because those were harsh words, right? So it's like,
Drake claimed that he was all about putting out memorable bodies of work as opposed to creating moments.
When it comes to competition, I'm more worried about consistency. I'm more worried about bodies of work.
Now, I got to be honest, Drake does make a good point here when he talks about body of work. Kendrick Lamar doesn't have as large of a body of work of music that Drake has. And I said this earlier in this podcast because Drake, I got to be honest, Drake is a grinder. Drake is grinding. And like I said before, maybe he puts out a lot of music because he's constantly striving to be accepted. He's constantly striving to say, hey, I may be from Canada, I may be biracial, whatever, but y'all gonna have to like respect me. It can be all kind of reasons why, right? Or just the fact that he loves the art of rapping, the art of music, making the money, the whole nine yards. But listen to him right here. This is the one I wanted to examine
I'm learning that
again.
now. You know, that's not really my peace of mind, having money.
I love Electra Chung's shoulders.
You love the shoulders?
I just love her shoulders.
He says, I just love her shoulders.
She's actually blushing as well.
See, and that goes to what the point that you made, that he, like many people in some cases, you adapt to whatever demographic or whoever you're around at that time, right? So on that red carpet at the Grammys, there was a white woman there that he was talking about, I just love her shoulders. And to me, you made a good point. He just sort of blends into whatever crowd he's with to fit in, because maybe, and I'm just, you know, maybe Drake has never felt like he's ever really fit in. Now that's just me putting that out there as a point, not as fact. And rap music, we got to be honest, is a very competitive form of art, of music, more than any other, because you don't see any other artists out there competing like this. Wouldn't it be interesting if you saw, like, who's the R&B star? Wouldn't it be interesting if, well, maybe, no, let me correct that. You did have people competing with each other, like in Motown and the singers. You probably just didn't see it on the level that it is now, but let's say you got somebody like Marvin Gaye and a Smokey Robinson in a R&B battle. And Smokey Robinson says, Marvin Gaye can't blow like me. He can't sing like me. He can't, just like that movie, remember 5 Heartbeats? Nights like this, I wish that raindrops would fall. You trying to blow like me? You trying to get my spot? They were competitive back in the day as well. They just didn't have social media and all the stuff that we got now to project it. But you better damn well believe Smokey Robinson thought he was the best damn R&B singer. You better damn well best believe that Marvin Gaye thought he was the best damn, and I think he was, but anyway, the best damn singer. You best to believe that they felt like, hey, this motherfucker trying to blow like me. He's trying to copy off my style. You know that was going on in the Temptations and all those groups. Let's just keep it real, y'all. Let's just keep it real.
Tell the truth.
But didn't nobody get, shot and killed over none of this nonsense, right? But let's go to the audio. I want to go to the audio because I want y'all to hear something. This is crazy. I want y'all to hear this audio right here. And here we go. Drake versus Kendrick, the 9th edition. Let's go right here. Right here. Whoops. Oops, that's not what I wanted.
Fly with the words mortal men. In this one, Drake continues to insert himself as being a caliber above Kendrick.
But I don't know. I'm no mortal man.
And Drake ends off the year with even more compliments for Kendrick in a Rap Radar interview.
I have a lot of respect for, the other two guys that I'm constantly, up against, which is like Cole and Kendrick.
Did you hear that? Drake says that he has a lot of respect for the two guys that he's always up against, which is J. Cole's and Kendrick. So I'm going to say what I said earlier in this broadcast today. Is this whole thing just some make-believe that they created to create this moment that everybody's focusing on now? Or do they have real beef? Or is it just stuff that was boiling under the surface and now people feel like, let me come for this person? Because there's several clips of, how can I say it, of Drake where it looks like he's trying to reach out towards Kendrick Lamar. And in this decade, Kendrick Lamar hasn't had a good word to say about Drake. Drake has had more good things to say about Kendrick than Kendrick has had to say about Drake in this particular decade that we're in right now of music. So there's something definitely going on, but they're both going to benefit by what's been going on between them with putting out these lyrics so fast, because a lot of Drake fans that like Drake, they're going to rock with Drake. A lot of people that like Kendrick, they're happy to see him put out all this music because they weren't getting this much music before. And then I have to ask for everybody around the country. I understand why, if you're on the West Coast, why you rock with Kendrick Lamar, but I got to ask folks in the East Coast, the South, and in the Northeast, why are you rocking with Drake, if you are anybody, when he ain't from any of these places? He ain't from the North. He ain't from the South. He ain't from the dirty South. He ain't from the Wild West. He ain't from the East Coast. He from somewhere far north that Malcolm X said that everywhere north is north of the Macy-Dixon, and that is Canada. And the first person, and I should have put his picture up here, let me remind you, the first person that put Drake in his place was another light-skinned brother by the name of Common. Remember Common? And Drake went back and forth, and then Common dropped something. I think he said Canada. He said he did a lyric where he said Canada dry, and Drake backed off of that real fast. That's the one guy that Drake did not want to mess with from Chi-Town, Chicago, baby. Because, and people are saying that Drake lost this battle, that he underestimated Kendrick Lamar. He got too caught up in the personal stuff. And you're going to hear my man Joe Budden. We're going to hear from Joe Budden very soon. But let's hear the rest of this.
Yeah. So I have a lot of respect for those guys because they also continue to, stay true to what we started with, and finding new ways to do it.
However, things go quiet in 2020. Keep in mind, Kendrick wasn't releasing any music, and fans started to question if the feud was over.
I don't think that the Drake-Kendrick tension is dead. I think that last decade
That's Joe
they
Buttons.
fought as long as they could fought, and the decade ended without us having a decisive winner. And I don't think either of them have gotten off of that.
Tell the truth.
Here's the next one.
For Kendrick, what better way to fly with the words mortal men?
Here's the one that I wanted to put on here. I think I went into one before the other, and here's the one I want to play.
In this one, Drake continues to insert himself as being a caliber above Kendrick.
But I don't know. I'm no mortal man.
And Drake ends off
All right, I
the
played
year
that
with
one. I'm going to stop that one. Here's the one right here I need to play.
With the Drake thing, like, you know, did you really bring the Drake thing back with the J Rock single, or what's that about?
What?
This is Kendrick.
Drake feud. Or,
Look at him going. Damn, man.
No.
You're disgusting.
I think that's people digging in. That's the people digging in way too far.
Once again, we're all reaching, and it's not about Drake. And just a few days later, Kendrick would get asked about his now year-old controversies, and this time he said that all the people that mattered understood it, and for the people who didn't, they don't matter.
The people that respected, you know, was you know, people that knew the deal.
Yeah.
What's the important people that respected and knew what it was, and you know, people that don't respect it, obviously they just people that don't get it, and you know, really didn't matter.
And again, Kendrick claims that the chances of seeing him and Drake go head-to-head is slim to none because they're two different artists.
It's just a whole nother dynamic. I can't see myself going bar for bar with Drake. You know, we're two different type of artists. You dig what I'm
You would
saying?
eat Drake. I've argued that.
And I honestly feel like this is just...
Boom. I played a video when he said, Kendrick Lamar, that he would not fussy around with Drake because they come from different worlds. In that audio, he's asked, would he go bar for bar? And he says no, yet here we are where they have been going bar for bar against each other. So the question is, you never can say never, and you can't always believe what these guys tell you sometimes, because money talks and bullshit walks.
Tell the truth.
And they're going to make a lot of money off this whole little beef that they got going on. And think about the people behind the scenes that are making money off of this whole situation. But once again, I'm going to say again, it's all foolishness, because what they've got going on is nowhere as serious as the other things that we got going on in this society that we need to pay more attention to. Besides two dudes that are making a whole bunch of money. One lives in a mansion in Canada, living good, eating good, sleeping good. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to get caught up in this whole thing about they don't like each other. Well, who knows? The whole rap game is so sour. I'm so sour on the whole thing anyway. So much garbage music's been coming out anyway. Let's continue here.
Kendrick downplaying Drake as not being on his level. I don't think he respects Drake. I don't think he really ever respected Drake. And there's some underlying meaning behind this when he keeps saying it.
Would Drake be somebody you would like to have some fun with?
Nah, I couldn't. We come from two different worlds, two different backgrounds. I really don't see that playing out, you know, as entertaining. Maybe to, you know, the people listening, you know, not for myself.
Keep in mind, Kendrick was classified as the savior of hip-hop. He was embraced by everyone just for the art, whereas someone like Drake really had to go to distance to prove himself.
I had said that before. You had a lot of people that gave Kendrick Lamar his props. And then you had, I've been saying that throughout this whole video, that it appears like Drake has had to go the extra mile to prove himself, which maybe plays into why he comes out with so many CDs or so much music. And he's doing everything he can to be accepted. And like I said, colorism plays into this. Maybe some don't accept him. The whole he ain't black enough, or he ain't from the culture. All these are elements that plays into all of this. And it also plays into who decides who they're going to support, whether you support Kendrick, whether you support Drake. Some of this psychology, the thinking and the minds that we have, plays into sometimes who we're going to rock with. Let's continue this.
And even then, he could never win over the fans that admired a certain level of lyricism. Many consider Drake to be a pop star, and I feel like Kendrick is saying this without really saying it.
All right. Now, we're going to play our last audio clip right here, folks. Definitely listen to this. This one is in 2022. This was a year when Kendrick Lamar won a lot of awards. If I'm not mistaken, Drake in 2022 he was nominated for 14 awards. I believe it was at the BET Awards, something of that nature, where he had more nominations than anybody. But the person who won everything was Kendrick. Now, I want to say this again. That's what I could not. Macklemore. That's who I was trying to think of. The white dude, Macklemore. The year that Macklemore won the best, what was it, rap album or whatever it was. I think that was crazy. I didn't think his album was the best. It was Kendrick, clearly. Kendrick got stuffed, and he didn't win it. They gave it to Macklemore. We haven't heard from Macklemore. Where the hell is Macklemore? What other hit does he have, right? Well, Macklemore won that, and then Macklemore tweeted out on his own social media how he felt bad about the whole thing because he won it over Kendrick, and he knew deep, that white boy knew deep inside that Kendrick Lamar should have won that Grammy that year, and he got stiff for Macklemore. Once again, I said before, back in the day, we talked about protecting the culture, protecting our music, not letting it be infiltrated by people from the outside like they took over jazz. Well, guess what, folks? We blew it because rap music has been completely infiltrated, and it ain't going back. Macklemore won best, I believe, rap album that year over Kendrick Lamar. Everybody was stunned by that and said he should have won. But let me play this clip for you about what happened in 2022 and how things didn't really go Drake's way per se. Check this out.
For Kendrick, what better way of taking 5 years away than by dropping an album and cleaning house again at the BET Awards? Going into the awards, Drake was way ahead of everybody with 14 nominations.
Okay.
But it didn't matter because Kendrick mopped the floor with them, winning Best Hip Hop Video, Best Live Performer, Lyricist of the Year, Video Director of the Year, Album of the Year, and Artist of the Year.
Wow.
However, Drake wasn't very impressed with Kendrick's 5-year delay, and he let everyone know about it while on tour.
I don't know about these guys that go away 3, 4, 5 years, want to chill out, all that shit. That's not me.
So what you heard there was Drake's, after Kendrick Lamar clearly wiped up with all the awards, then he gets on stage. This is why these guys, I guess they don't like each other, whatever's going on. He gets on stage at his concert, you just heard it on that clip, and says, I'm not like one of these guys that takes 5 years off and you don't get no music from me. He was making a dish at, Drake was making a dish at, you know, at Kendrick Lamar in this case. So this is where all this comes from. These guys, it's amazing to me how grown-ass men, or how this genre of music, where guys can't make their music and just entertain people, make their music, make their money, be happy, and they got to constantly be talking about one another. And be talking about one another on a stage, on a radio show, but yet when they're with each other in close proximity, they don't confront each other then and there. I mean, Drake said earlier in this podcast when I played it that he was mad at Kendrick because Kendrick, when he came out with he came out with an album where he was talking about how he's the best rapper, and he took a stiff at Drake. And he said when he saw Drake in person, Drake was all like, you heard him, I played that several times today. Drake was like, hey, you acting like nothing happened between us, like you didn't say anything in your music about me. So what I'm saying, these guys are not confronting each other in each other's faces. They're doing it all on, we used to call it on wax back in the day, but they're doing it all on CD and streaming and all this other stuff. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Grown men using music to fight each other. And then we know, I want to say it again, I don't want it to go to this level of a Tupac, a P. Diddy. Don't go to a P. Diddy party, y'all. Don't go to a P. Diddy party. Say no to P. Diddy. Say no. Say no. Say no. And Biggie Smalls, we already know what happened between these two men here, him and Pac. So we would think that people would learn from what happened to these two young guys who actually, when they were rapping, they controlled the rap game. And Biggie Smalls, we know he has Jamaican descent. His mother's Jamaican. And the thing that's sad about both these guys is, and I said this before, you can make all your money now, but it's what happens to your money when you out of the game. They try to take it from you, because Biggie Smalls, when he got killed and his mom looked for his money, the masters for his music, she found out that he didn't own his house, he didn't own anything, and he was associated with this sucker right here who Biggie Smalls' mother never liked, and that's the man you see right there. Don't party with him. Don't party with him. Just don't party with him. And then Tupac, on the other hand, both these guys ended up broke with nothing. Tupac's mama, same thing. He cuts a deal with Suge Knight that, hey, if something happens to us, we're going to take care of each other's family members. Tupac's mama is all around the music. This is why this music business is phony. These people in the music business are phony, because when Tupac's mama, along with Biggie Smalls' mama, was looking for their assets, did they own the house? Do they have money? Do they have the masters to their music? When they were both looking for those things, nobody helped them. There was no masters to be gotten. The home that he was living in didn't own it. The cars he had didn't own it. And nobody in this so-called rap industry who claimed that they loved Tupac did a damn thing for Tupac's mama. Same thing for Biggie Smalls. That's where I tell you, this is why I say on the title of this video, the Kendrick Lamar and the Drake and Kendrick Lamar foolishness, because this is all foolishness, because at the end of the day, this so-called rap community doesn't take care of its own, because they didn't do anything for both the mother of Biggie Smalls or the mother of Tupac when they both were looking for their assets, and this music industry did nothing to help them. While these Negroes are sitting up here talking about who's the best rapper, why are we talking about who's the best rapper when we got two icons that everybody claims to love and their mothers got cheated out of the legacy of these young men? And none of these so-called people in this industry do anything to help both these mothers. I just wanted to lay that on y'all for food for thought. Let's go in the chat room and read your chats before we get out of here today. Tiffany Jackson, I'm reading all chats now. I'm reading all chats. Tiffany Jackson says there seems to be an agenda much larger than either of these artists. Facts, 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 facts.
Tell the truth.
How aware are they of it, or how active are they as participants in it? Excellent, excellent points. Jonathan Kidd, peace, brother. Peace to Jonathan Kidd. He's in the house. Peace to you. He says this. Jonathan Kidd said they told the truth about Diddy in the movie. Get him to the Greek. Facts. Let's see the Queen's back in here. She says not only the mother got cheated, but the kid. Oh, Queen. Now, thank you for correcting me, Queen. I'm sitting up here talking about the mother, but should have mentioned the fact that they had kids. That's my bad. So not only the mothers got cheated, but the kids too. This so-called music industry. And matter of fact, Queen of Thrones knows what she's talking about, because if I'm not mistaken, you were involved in the music business. I'm subscribed to her channel. She's a good sister. She keeps it real over there. She tells it like it is.
Tell the truth.
So check her out. But if I'm not mistaken, Queen, remind me, you were involved in the music business at some point on some level or another. So you know how this game works. Thank you. And happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies, grandmothers and ladies, everybody in the chat room. Happy Mother's Day to your, even if you're not a mother, happy Mother's Day to your mother, if she's with us. Okay. Let me see. I want to read some more of the chat. Both Diddy and Suge Knight, old people. Yeah, they old people. And Queen of Thrones says, yes, she was in the music business or is in the music business. So she says, I'm right. See, I knew what the hell I was talking about here. Last Call says, make sure you play the Dear Mama from Tupac today. That's a good song. That's an excellent song. Alicia's in the house. MZ Kim and Bar is, she's got the smirk right there. EP Mike 2 123 His announcements. Don't forget Jay-Z and Nas. Yeah, that's right. Jay-Z and Nas had a little beef with each other, but you notice that when Jay-Z started beefing with Nas, Jay-Z stopped because Nas had his number, if I'm correct. Queen of Thrones, am I correct about that? When they had their small little bout, I think Nas got the best of Jay-Z. I think he put Jay-Z in a little bit of a not checkers, but a checkmate. I think so.
Tell the truth.
Let me see. We got T.Y. Boogaloo X says, no Diddy. No Diddy. Yeah, no Diddy here. Let's go back over here. The real Aaron Collins says, Afina Shakur, Tupac's mother, passed away a few years back. Yeah, she passed away. She passed away never really knowing what happened to her son. That's the sad thing about this whole thing, that she passed away never really knowing who really did what to her son. She might have had her beliefs. I'm pretty sure she thought that Suge had something to do with it, because remember, when when he wasn't in prison and she was alive, she went to Suge looking for those masters, and Suge gave her the runaround. So it makes you wonder. And the Queen of Thrones says, thank you. Let me see. Diddy and Suge Knight, old people. That's right. Not only the mothers got cheated, but the kids. I read that before. John the Kid, they told the truth about Diddy. Let's go back up here. She says facts. All right. Mike B's come in the house. And so peace to you. Hey, so let me give you so for those of you that are content creators like Queen of Thrones, Queen, try to go live in the vertical sometimes, because what happens is when you go live in the vertical, they put you in the YouTube shorts. So what they did with the YouTube shorts is that when people stroll through there, they can look at YouTube shorts or they can look at live vertical video. And what happens is it gives you more discoverability with potential people that discovers your channel, and they may subscribe to your channel and what have you. So Queen, if you have not already done this, try to add a little vertical streaming in your repertoire every now and then. I'm still going to go back to my regular format, but every now and then I'm going to do this format as well, because YouTube is pushing that format right now, and they're pushing it heavy, and people are liking it, and people are seeing increases in viewership or increases in subs on their channel. So just giving that out for content creators out there, giving y'all some facts there.
Tell the truth.
Let's see. Why? Let me see. Jay says, why you like Diddy? I didn't never say I like no damn Diddy. Not me, sir. Not me. Let me see. I'm going to come back and make content soon. Yeah, real Aaron Collins. Start making content. Man, if you want to come back and revamp things, start going vertical. Do vertical videos. Queen says this. Great idea. Thank you for the information. Yeah, Queen. No problem at all. Tiffany Jackson, let me see. She just put this right here. Let me read what she's got. Information Man dropping some inside tips. That's our, that I'm going to drop. If you're a content creator and you're definitely new at it, I would say go vertical for a while, because just like when they introduced the YouTube shorts and you drop shorts, your shorts would get views very quickly, or potentially, because they're trying to compete. Someone said this today earlier when I went live. YouTube is getting their ass kicked by TikTok. So they're trying to kick TikTok's ass by introducing the vertical. Now, Queen and anybody listening, you can go vertical on your phone, or you can do vertical through your streaming software. As long as you're 9:16, no matter what you're using, like I'm not going live through my phone right now, I'm going live through my streaming software. As long as you're in the vertical formation, the 9-16, YouTube will put you into the vertical format, which also includes the shorts. What happens when people stroll through the shorts menu, they will see your video and it'll be a little white mark down below and it'll say live if you want to join, if you want to check out the live. So they'll be able to click into the live right then and there, or as they're strolling through. And once again, it's great discoverability. So YouTube has been making some improvements that I guess can help content creators. Okay, let's give them a clap on that. Let me see. Queen says, and Rumble is becoming an issue because people are going over there in droves. Yeah, but check this out though, Queen. Eventually, Rumble is going to become just like YouTube, where people go over to Rumble because they feel like they don't want to be censored they're being censored on YouTube. So they want to go to Rumble because Rumble, they accept anybody over there. White, I got to keep it real, Queen. They accept white supremacists. They accept all kind of, it's a dumping ground. But people are going there because they feel like, hey, they can say whatever they want and they won't be censored. But guess what? Once Rumble takes in corporate money, if they really want to be serious and expand their platform, they got to take in corporate money. They got to take in sponsorship. And once they start doing that, they're going to clean up the platform and they're going to have rules just like we have on YouTube. That's the way it works. YouTube used to be a time on YouTube where you could say whatever you wanted on YouTube. Once Google brought YouTube, a corporation, and now you got the AdSense, and now you got the influx of corporate money, they had to change the rules because you're hurting their bottom line if you don't fit into their agenda. You know what I'm saying?
Tell the truth.
I'm going to say it again. Y'all know I always say this. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
All right? Make sure y'all, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and comment, subscribe to the channel, share this in all your social media, y'all. Y'all know y'all got Facebook. Y'all know y'all got Twitter or X. Y'all know y'all got whatever y'all got. Share it and tell somebody about the show and put it in your community tab if you like. I appreciate it again. You see what I'm saying? I ain't gotta, scratching my ears and stuff like that. All right, y'all. Let's get back at it again. Let's get back at it in the chat room before I get ready to get out of here. And we got Tiffany Jackson. The rules are always harder on the black content. Yeah, the black content creators, we don't, how can I say this? Black content creators, we don't get no love on YouTube. You get love if you a sellout. You get love if you capitulate to certain people. You get love if you capitulate to a certain political view. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Then you'll get love. Oh, boy. All right. Facts. Queen says facts. Alicia, looking good from Chicago. Great thumbnail there. Looking good. Everybody's looking good. Tiffany Jackson's looking good. Queen's looking good. Peggy Ross is looking good. Everybody's looking good in the chat room. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. TikTok have got the cancel call. Yeah, right now, I think Congress or the Senate, they're talking about possibly getting rid of TikTok in America. We're going to see what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to be hurt if that happens because there's a lot of people that's making money on TikTok. They monetize their content. They're making a living. They're selling merchandise on TikTok. So it's going to hurt a lot of people. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Let me put the megaphone on because we got to make this be known. I got to be honest with you. As quiet as it's kept, you know that YouTube is probably praying on their knees, wishing. They're probably even giving documents to the Congress. They're praying that the Congress gets rid of TikTok because, like I said, TikTok's been their biggest competition. And they would love anything for TikTok to be out of the box so that they can be number one. That's right. I'm just keeping it real with y'all.
Tell the truth.
I'm just, kind of telling the truth, y'all. Don't be mad at me. I'm just telling the damn truth. And let's go back up here again. And we got MZ, Kim, Blings, and Bar and more. Make sure you check her out, ladies. She sells ladies' necklaces and bracelets, and she does it like they do on TV where she shows you the merchandise that you can bid on, that you can get. Check her out. She's got great things going on over there. Okay. Now, Alicia, do you still sell merchandise and stuff like that too? I know we used to talk about that on Instagram. You used to talk about how you're trying to promote your business and stuff like that. Do you still have that going? Because I've said this before, if you guys want to promote anything on my channel, make little videos, send me the video. We'll figure out a way to get the video and I can promote it on my channel. She says, yep, they don't want people to be great. Exactly, Alicia. They don't want people to be great. You're absolutely 100% correct. TikTok can go. I don't do it. Well, no, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Like I don't really have a big following. I have a bigger following. Well, I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I have a bigger following on TikTok with my sports channel, the Prime Sports Media channel. So that channel is like on popcorn. I drop videos over there. It's sizzling. But I've never dedicated a lot of time to the Information Man TikTok. I just never have put a lot of energy into that. But the sports, it's been popping like popcorn over there on my sports channel, the Prime Sports Media. Let's see. Do play Mortal Kombat. Alan Christian comes in the house with the smile on the face. And you know what, everybody? I think I got to call it quits. It's about 5:34. I'm at my time right now. Let me also say this too, because I'm on Roku TV live through way of the BS3 network. I got to end it. But let me go do this for the BS3 network while I'm here because we're getting ready to end it.
BS3 Network, changing the way you listen to podcasts.
All right.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
All right, everybody. So you can catch my show on Roku TV every Sunday by way of BS3 Network. If you have Roku TV and you go to BS3 Network, you pull it up and you'll find me amongst many other content creators on BS3 Network. And I'm one of them. And they have everything categorized in the categories that we're in. So check it out. Check it out. You'll love it. There's good stuff over there. And of course, you know I'm always streaming into YouTube. Check it out. If you like football, you like sports, you like what's happening at Colorado, you like Deion Sanders and the whole 9 yard, check out the Prime Sports Media channel. That's me over there. Things are popping and moving over there as well. And I appreciate you again, everybody. BS3
Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
That's right. All right. So let me get back over here. Give you guys a clap. Let me get ready to end it. And once again, everybody, peace, respect. I appreciate everybody in the chat room that's come out to support this channel every week. The numbers were fluctuating in here. We had a lot of people that came in early on because I've been on for a while, but I really appreciate you all. Let me get ready to get on out of here and make it do what we can make it do. Peace to you again. And with that said, here we go, everybody. Peace. All right, everybody.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.